Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I'm about to go pick up my baby from this little girl empowerment thing, or whatever it is you want to call it. And I gotta make a few more runs. But peep game, man, I want to talk about Jermell Charlos, man, and that little rant that he went on, man. First off, I don't like this notion that I ain't gonna say I don't like it, because in most cases I would be like, all right, man, let's try and find some middle ground in it. But how you gonna tell a nigga lower your price when the PBC's entire moniker is predicated on money? You dig? They're somewhat of a brain product of Floyd. And what was Floyd's moniker? Money made, half a B. You dig? This is the same nigga who's hitting the heavy bag and he got one of his bodyguards making it rain over him. Just their entire mindset is, business acumen and trying to, milk fights to get as much bang for their buck as they possibly can get. You dig? Jermell Charlos telling Demetrius Andrade, oh man, he broke, he ain't this, he ain't that, he yada yada yada. So now when it's time for, talks with Bud and Spence, now Bud has to lower his price. And even with Spence, he's trying to stunt 60-40, 80-20, 70-30, all that bullshit. It isn't about legacy with y'all, man. It's about getting the biggest bag you can get. Everything is predicated on money with y'all. Money. Money usurps everything. Oh, we got to build that fight a little bit more so we can get as much bang for the buck as possible. So he has to lower his price despite y'all entire ideology being money this and money that. That's kind of weird to me, man. It's also weird to me that y'all can scrounge up all this money for David Benavidez. Y'all can scrounge up all this money for Jaime Munguia to get these fights made, but y'all can't give Bud 5. Y'all can't do that. So I just think that was real, that was real goofy for him to say that about Bud. That was real goofy. Like, I was never opposed to the 60-40 thing, but I did start giving resistance when I started seeing how ignorant people were getting with me. It was just all right, I'm a Spence fan, but this is getting a little ridiculous. And maybe because I'm on the forums a lot more, I'm a lot more active on the forums than I am on any other place. So I see a lot more irrational thinking people than I do rationally thinking people when it, as it pertains to Spence. I like to consider myself a rational thinking Bud fan, because I was never opposed to 60-40. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I was never opposed to that. But when you start getting pushed, when you start just meeting motherfuckers who are just so illogical when they thinking 80-20, and everything is just predicated on pay-per-view buys and who sells the most, as if Spence is just this box office attraction, it was really annoying. You dig? Accolades do come into play. They do take precedence over some things. I get that the biggest selling point is who has the most marquee value. I understand that. I get it. But accomplishments go into it as well. And Bud is the far more accomplished fighter, but Spence is the more marquee attraction. So for that, I was a little like, all right, yeah, we could, I could see 60-40. I ain't mad at it. But when it just started getting ignorant, I started, nah, fuck all that. So if you just sit here and say, yo, man, lower your price, be a challenger sometimes, like, yo, he did that. He did that. Spence told that man, come up, get a belt, we can talk. And the man that he beat was the nigga that everybody wanted, which was Jeff Horn, because they saw it as an easy mark. But as soon as Bud got that fight and got a belt, everybody started backtracking away from the WBO. And another thing that he said that really pissed me off is go fight Thurman, go fight Garcia, go fight him, as if he hasn't tried to fight these dudes before. He went on ESPN and called Thurman out. Oh yeah. I gotta excuse my hair, it's a little nappy. I got this little contour in it so it can curl up for the nice festivities. But he went and tried to call him out. And Thurman is on record nah, man, Crawford ain't fought nobody. He did the WB no and yada, yada, yada. And I remember an interview vividly with him saying, say what you want, I have zero interest in a Terrence Crawford fight. He said that. I heard him say it out of his own fucking mouth. So how you gonna sit here and tell him go fight him when he didn't want it? How you gonna tell Danny Garcia go fight Danny Garcia when Danny Garcia didn't want it? Angel Garcia is in interviews talking about, man, go fight your mandatory. And who was his mandatory? Danny Garcia. That was his mandatory. When you talk about go fight your mandatory, these dudes didn't want it. The PBC intentionally froze him out. They wouldn't even put his graphic on the fucking broadcast. And you talking about go fight him, go fight him, go fight him, go fight him. None of them wanted it. Only one who wanted it was Porter. And it's looking like Ugas may want it. Not even look, I think Ugas want drama. Them other niggas don't want it. Spence talking about, oh man, you know, Keith Thurman is a possibility. It's a possibility. Even after Thurman beat up Barrios, he gonna put tailor-made. Like, why are you even looking in the direction of this dude? It was out of your mouth when you said, I'm not fighting Thurman, he's a coon, he this and that and third, and yada yada. You just completely disregarded Thurman. Now that you're running slim on options for opponents, you're gonna consider Thurman. Like Bud isn't a free agent. On top of the mandatories you have. On top is who the winner of Innocent Clayton is gonna Claxton. I think that's his last name. Clayton. I think it's Clayton. I'm tripping. His name is eluding me at this time, but the winner of that is gonna be in a fucking mandatory spot against you. Stanionis and Butayev is gonna be in a mandatory spot with you, and you haven't honored a mandatory in years. So what then? Shit just continues to get pushed back. Like, bro, Bud is in his mid-30s. He's in his mid-30s. You dig? Y'all keep, you know, you just keep putting these roadblocks in between the two of y'all, man. It's like, yo, this shit is getting whacked. And for Jermell to sit there and act as if this shit isn't happening because you and your feelings that he's eyeing the winner of you and Castano was like, bro, I thought you was the logical Charlo. Pause. Yeah, man, you know, I'm back, man. You know, that shit just, it was real disingenuous for him to say that shit. Go fight so-and-so, go fight so-and-so, and so-and-so isn't trying to fight Bud. You dig? Like, come on, man. You know what it is with these niggas. You know they don't want it. You know they don't want it. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this was just to entertain it, possibly entertain a possible fight between the two of you. I don't know what it is. I don't know what could, you know, make you go on the rant that you went on, man. But I just thought that shit was real disingenuous. Real disingenuous and real misinformative. As not even misinformed. I think you was intentionally talking the shit that you was talking. Because you know the PBC be on bullshit. And you know, right there. You know that they never wanted Bud to get that fight with Spence because they knew the threat that they had in front of them. So come on, man. Like, don't do that shit, man. You know what time it is as it pertains to Spence. You know what time it is as it pertains to the PBC. Don't tell a nigga to lower his price when y'all entire moniker is getting money. And if it ain't y'all coming out saying we getting money, it's the antics that y'all are doing. It's the we trying to milk this fight. You know, so-and-so is broke. It's 80-20. It's 70-30. It's 60-40. It's a multitude of other things outside of the fight. You can talk that money shit when someone ain't in your, you know, when someone ain't in your tax bracket. When someone gets a higher guarantee, now it's time for somebody to come down on their price point. Despite the fact that they finding ways to scrounge up money between fights that's not as big as Spence and Bud. They're gonna find. I wonder how much they get for Jaime Munguia. I really want to know how much they getting for him, and I'll try my best to stay out of people's pockets. But some shit just, you know, you have to speak on it. And in this situation, it's just seeming like one of them things that is, you know, you would have to speak on. How much are they giving Jaime Munguia? Y'all got all this show to throw at David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. Nobody was ever gonna know who them motherfuckers was like that outside of the hardcores. Nobody. Now y'all trying to turn this into a big money fight. Like, come on, man. How much y'all finna put in that? How much y'all gonna put in the money pot for them two to mix it up? None of them are pay-per-view attractions. Spence is barely a pay-per-view attraction. Like, come on, man. I know y'all gonna try and put Charlo and Munguia on pay-per-view. And that's not a bigger fight than Bud and Spence, and y'all know it. So that's my biggest thing, man. Don't come over here with that bullshit talking about go fight him, go fight him, go fight him, go fight him, and lower your price point. Cause that's bogus, and you know it. That's bogus, and you know it. The nigga's just supposed to stop getting his guarantee when y'all entire moniker is money, man. I don't think so, man. I can't get jiggy with that. I can't get jiggy with that. That money that they finding for all these other fighters, tell Al Heyman to dig into his bag and scrounge that up for Bud, so we can get the fight that we've been asking for the past 4 and 5 years. Whatever money you was gonna get for Canelo, that 100 M's you was gonna get for Canelo for a 2-fight deal, I'm sure you could take a fraction of that and throw that shit towards Spence and Bud. That's maybe a $10 million fight. So that's how I'm feeling about it, man. I'm about to go pick up my baby. I'm up the street, so yeah, man. Like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think, man. Deuces.